welcome back to my channel. This is Anastasia here with this week's Teen Mom Recap. And before I start, just a couple little news updates. As we all know, 16 and Pregnant is starting up again after like 6 years of being off the air. Will I be recapping this? Most likely. And if it's like super boring, then maybe I won't, but there's like a 95% chance that I am going to be recapping that on this channel, so check that out. Young and Pregnant is also coming back. We don't know when, but whenever that does come back, I will be recapping that as well. Janelle's documentary series, episode 4, she can't keep up with anything in her life, so obviously it didn't get updated on the right day. Usually she does it on Monday, and I post a video by like Tuesday or Wednesday of me watching it. But she's late this week. I think she's posting it tonight at 8, so I'll probably have that video out maybe tomorrow or the day after. One more thing, if you guys watch my videos every week, or if you watch this video and you end up liking it, I would really appreciate it if you would go ahead and subscribe. I'm sort of close to hitting 3,000 subscribers. It really helps my channel out. I would greatly appreciate it. Anyway, let's get on with the video. We start back off on Kail's phone call with her mom, Susie. Susie asks, "How are you?" and lets Kail know that her grandma died, although Kail did already know that. Kail says, "I'm fine. I'm shocked you're calling." Susie asks her, "You didn't get my letters or my cards that I sent you?" Something about that sets Kail off. She's like, "No. And by the way, you don't get to pop up or call whenever you feel like it. You have to be consistent and present. They don't even know who you are. They haven't heard from you in years. Let that sink in." Well, damn, I guess Kail didn't hold on to the slightest bit of advice from Monica the medium last episode. Monica was like telling her to be compassionate and all that. I guess Kail just threw that out the window. I understand there's a lot of resentment there between Kail and her mom, and maybe Kail isn't ready to forgive her. But if Susie really was sending letters and cards and all that stuff, that is an attempt to be consistent. And since Kail is saying that she didn't get them, it seems likely to me that Kail probably never told her mom her new address. So how's she supposed to stay involved if you're just not letting her? And it's not like letting her see her kids in person or anything like that. It's just cards. She can't really do much harm through that. You could even screen it if you want to. Susie says, "It isn't all my fault." Yes, it is. Until you accept that, I cannot have a conversation with you. I have to get back to work, so I'm ending this call. Wow. Like I said, I know there's a lot of bad history there, but I just can't help but feel like Kail was being super cold. And let's be real, very bitchy. Maybe she was just getting super emotional, which I can understand. Next is Chelsea, and you guessed it, the father-daughter dance. I swear, we see more times of the father-daughter dance on this show than we see of Janelle saying dude, or at least that we used to see of Janelle saying dude, which is a lot. Seriously, what is this? The 6th father-daughter dance? The 7th? I can't even keep track anymore. Is this a monthly dance? Adam said that he wanted to go to this dance, and Aubrey also wants him to go. Chelsea doesn't have Adam's phone number for some reason, so 10-year-old Aubrey has to be the go-between to send messages between them, which is a little strange. Aubrey also wants Cole to go, but she admits that she'll probably just ditch them both to hang out with her friends. I would love to see the ensuing conversation between Adam and Cole after Aubrey abandons them both to go see her friends, and they're left by themselves to talk. Who do you think would win in a fight, by the way, Cole or Adam? Cole, you know, he uses those weird workout programs that he gets paid to promote on Instagram, but Adam has like actual steroids, so it's kind of a toss-up. Chelsea's friend Laura later comes into the store that her and Aubrey are hanging out at and talks to Chelsea about Aubrey wanting a cell phone. Pretty much everyone is saying that Aubrey is old enough to have a phone, but Chelsea is hesitant. Laura thinks that Chelsea should get Aubrey an old flip phone or an old Razr Motorola phone to start off with so Aubrey can appreciate the nicer things that we have today when she gets a new one. And hey, if you're looking for one, I, for some reason, still have mine! Like, tell me you weren't the baddest chick in middle school when you had these phones. Well, I wasn't, but at least I had, like, nice phone back then. This is, like, the iPhone 11 Pro of 2008. I mean, these things had enough memory for, like, maybe 7 pictures, but they were skinny, and that's what mattered back then. Next is Jade. She meets up with her mom and talks about her upcoming graduation from beauty school. Christy agrees to bring Chloe to the graduation because Jade wants to walk with her daughter for the ceremony. Jade says, "I want my daughter to watch me build this empire of salons all over the world." And Christy's like, "Yeah, be a badass bitch," while playing on her phone while Jade's talking to her. Leah's twins celebrate their 10th birthday at a place called Fat Patty's, only in West Virginia. And then Leah calls her friend. They're talking about the twins turning 10 years old, and Leah suddenly says, "Can I just point something out to you? I was 13 the first time I had sex, and they're 10. I'm not saying, you know, but I just want them to know more than I did." Yeah, that is true, by the way, unfortunately. And if you want to know more about that, you could buy Leah's book, or you could watch my book review video that I made where I go through all the tea, absolutely free. And I will link that either here, or down below, so go check out that video. Next is Brianna. She wants to, and I quote, "See where Lewis's head is at. Shouldn't be too hard, the light reflecting off of that thing. Should make him super easy to find in any given area." She finds him back in the gym where her child is competing and decides that this is the perfect time and place to discuss sex. She says, we need to figure out what we're doing. We need to communicate. If you sleep with somebody else, you need to tell me. I'm on birth control, so I'm not worried about that though. Yeah, neither is Lewis. Whether you're on anything or not, I don't think he cares. Lewis, as usual, doesn't say too much at all. Kail reveals that this is the first time she has spoken to her mom in 3 years. Kail's exact words about her mom are, "You want to call me because your mom died? Go fuck yourself." Jesus, Kail. She also says, "I'm not reaching out to someone who's not sober and not consistent." The producer asks her, did she sound sober? And Kail says no, but I'm not really sure how much you can determine something like that over the phone. But then again, we didn't really hear her mom too much, so maybe she sounded wasted, I don't really know. Kail says, I think I'm angry and sad, but I haven't processed it enough. If she calls me consistently, maybe things will change, but I know she won't. Why wouldn't she want to call every day and listen to your sunshiny attitude, Kail? It's Jade's graduation day. Sean is helping her get ready, but Christy isn't even awake yet. Keep in mind, Jade and Christy live in the same house. If I were Jade, I'd maybe, start banging the pots and pans together a little loud, making my breakfast, or, maybe this is the perfect time to test out the smoke alarm. Wake up, bitch. Jade arrives to the salon, gets a couple things done, and then waits. Her mom was asked to be there at 11 o'clock. Her mom's also supposed to be the one bringing Chloe so that Jade can walk with her daughter. Everyone else arrives, but no Christy, no Chloe, and no Sean. 11:30. No Chloe, no Christy, no Sean. Also, none of them are answering their phone. Finally, when Christy answers Jade's grandma, she says, they just left the house. She's irate as usual, and then she says, I'm being told what I'm gonna do all fucking day. Jade's grandma's like, okay, and then she hangs up before Christy can ruin Jade's day even more. Jade is understandably super annoyed, and she doesn't want to walk the ceremony without Chloe. Chelsea consults with yet another friend about getting Aubrey a cell phone. Her friend's name is Ayla. I guess her mom thought Kayla and Shayla were too normal. Sort of like Kyler from Young and Pregnant, like all you had to do was add one more letter, man. Ayla's reasoning is that they had landline phones when they were in elementary school and they were very young, so it's kind of the same thing. I mean, not really though. You can't send inappropriate images through a landline. You can't look at weird websites through a landline. Chelsea feels like getting Aubrey a phone is a level of letting go that she isn't ready for. Brianna is mad that Lewis is checking in with her time to time, but it's not about Stella. So what's it about then? Checking in is not the same as, hey, can you come over at 3 a.m. After that, Brianna calls and gets the results of her STD test. And surprise, surprise, she has chlamydia! Yay! She doesn't even seem too surprised. Maybe she noticed something, going on. All she says is, and the clinic tells her to take antibiotics and not expose herself to Lewis or have sex for 7 days. They also encourage her to tell Lewis. We already knew that Lewis looked super dirty, as does Brianna, but now we just have confirmation. In her little video diary thing, Brianna's talking about how she has not processed it. She feels like this is unreal and she regrets it and blah, blah, blah. All I can see though is that new tongue ring she's got sporting now. Like, dang girl, you probably shoved that tongue ring in there, especially for Lewis. And all he did in return was infect you. Piercing's probably infected now too. Ugh. You just know both of these two probably smell so bad. It's Leah's twins' actual birthday and Leah has them now. Leah gives one of her usual motivational speeches in the car and absolutely nobody is paying any attention. Over at the restaurant, once again, no one's giving a shit what Leah has to say. Got kids spitting out food at her while she's talking. They go around the table to share good memories. Addie talks about Gracie talking to her crush, which causes her to hide under the table. And then Addie says, I'm glad that Allie's disability doesn't stop her from living her life. Oh, that was really cute. Leah encourages her girls to not make the same mistake she did, and she says, getting pregnant at 17 wasn't a mistake though. It was a challenge. Was the challenge for Corey to pull out? Because I think he failed. It's been an hour and a half and Christy still has not arrived to Jade's graduation. Jade should start talking to Christy like Kail talks to her mom, just like rude as hell. Because Christy actually deserves that. Christy literally cannot do anything right. She does not show up to anything on time. It's like a toddler. Like if you tell Christy, pick up those crumbs you dropped on the floor, she would throw her whole plate of food on the floor just to be difficult. Just to make people pay attention to her or whatever it is. You tell her to be on time and she's like, what's that? You want me to go meet my dealer and go smoke a bunch of meth before coming to your event? Yeah, sure, I could do that. Even Sean comes before her, immediately walking in and grabbing the food that's lying around, of course. He didn't bring Chloe because he didn't have the car seat, so Chloe is still not here. Probably could have taken the car seat, but what do I know? He says when he left the house, Christy and Jade's dad were at each other's throats. Then Sean says, it's okay. I'll walk with you, babe. And everyone just laughs at him like, bitch, no one cares about you. That would not be cute. Christy answers the phone finally and says, we are on our fucking way. Don't you talk to me like that. And then she hangs up. Next is Chelsea. Her and Cole are huddled in blankets and Chelsea asks, Are you attracted to me in the morning when I look like this? Keep in mind, she is in a full face of makeup, lashes, foundation, contouring, eyeshadow, but I believe her. She probably does go to sleep in makeup like that. So she probably does look like that in the morning. You know, just in case the house sets on fire at night and you all gotta run out. You can't be running outside without your face beat. She decides to get Aubrey the phone, but just heavily monitor it. She asks if Cole would be friendly with Adam at the father-daughter dance coming up, and he says no, I would just be dancing with Aubrey. Next is Brianna. After getting the call from the clinic, who do you think Brianna calls first? Is it A, the pharmacy to get her prescription? B, Lewis to tell him he has a serious STD? Or C, her mommy? We already know the answer, guys. Mommy, I have chlamydia. Roxanne flips out. She's like, why are you telling me this at work? I'm gonna have to beat Lewis's ass. He just exposed you. I'm sure Roxanne's coworkers are loving this show. Surprisingly, Brianna actually says, Mom, just stop. Please, I'm never having sex with him again. And who's the next person she tells? Lewis? The pharmacy? No, Brittany. Brittany thought she was pregnant again when Brianna said she had an announcement, so she's actually relieved. Brittany says, be thankful it's not HIV. I mean, he works at a club. She starts giving this speech on birth control, and Brianna's so done. She's like, I know, I don't want to hear the speech, Brittany. Why can't Brianna talk like this to them all the time? It would be great. Brittany says, tell Lewis his dick is crusty and he needs to pour bleach on it. Brianna says, whatever vibes we have is totally shut down now. And what about Stella? He's gonna be so ashamed he won't come around for her anymore. He's gonna walk away from Stella. Can we please stop pretending that this has anything to do with Stella? And also, it's pretty bold to claim that Lewis would have any shame. Christy finally arrives to the graduation, mumbling something about a battery. Jade doesn't want to hear it. She just takes Chloe, walks down the aisle, and clocks out for the last time, and everybody cheers. They give her license/diploma and take pictures. Congratulations to Jade. And that's all for this episode of Teen Mom 2. What do you think of Kail's conversation with her mom? Do you think she was too harsh, or was she just setting boundaries? And why isn't Brianna calling Lewis, but she calls everybody else? Go ahead and leave a comment down below. Make sure to subscribe for more Teen Mom recaps every week.